Islam Makhachev, widely regarded as one of the most dominant mixed martial artists of his generation, has sent shockwaves through the MMA world following revelations from his longtime coach, Javier Mendez, about his potential retirement plans. The reigning UFC lightweight champion, who recently vacated his title to pursue glory in the welterweight division, is reportedly contemplating stepping away from the sport much sooner than fans and pundits expected. This breaking news has ignited intense debate and speculation about the future of one of the UFC's brightest stars and the legacy he will leave behind. Before we jump in, a quick request: if you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing. It's just one click for you, but it means the world to us. Thanks for the support. Now, let's get started. The revelation: 3 fights left. The catalyst for the current storm of speculation was an interview given by Javier Mendez, head coach at American Kickboxing Academy and the guiding force behind Makhachev's rise to the top of the UFC. In a candid conversation with Submission Radio, Mendez suggested that Makhachev may have only 3 fights left before calling time on his illustrious career. This statement, coming just as Makhachev prepares for a potential welterweight title clash with Jack Della Maddalena, has left the MMA community stunned. Mendez's comments were clear. Islam is going to be 34, so it isn't like he's going to be around much longer, I don't think. Based on how the Dagestani guys get their mentality on Team Khabib, and Islam having enough money to do what he wants to do the rest of his life, let's see. The coach emphasized that Makhachev's decision would be rooted in legacy preservation rather than necessity, noting that the Dagestani fighter is financially secure and can afford to leave the sport on his own terms. Following the Khabib blueprint, Makhachev's potential early retirement is reminiscent of the path taken by his mentor and close friend, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib famously retired at just 32 years old, undefeated and at the peak of his powers, citing family commitments and a promise to his late father. Mendez drew parallels between the two fighters, suggesting that the 35-year-old mark seems to be the magic number for these guys. In their head, they have that ready. That 35 is the cutoff point. Makhachev, now 33, appears to be following a similar trajectory, prioritizing his health and legacy over an extended career in the octagon. Makhachev's legacy, a record of dominance. Islam Makhachev's career has been nothing short of extraordinary. Boasting a 27-1 record and a 15-fight win streak, he has surpassed even Khabib in certain statistical categories, including the most consecutive lightweight title defenses in UFC history. His recent move to welterweight, after vacating the lightweight belt, is a testament to his ambition and desire to cement his status as one of the sport's all-time greats. Makhachev's dominance has not gone unnoticed. He is consistently mentioned in the same breath as legends like Anderson Silva, and his performances, such as the head kick knockout of Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 294, have only added to his growing legend. For many observers, Makhachev's pursuit of a second title in a higher weight class is the final piece of his legacy puzzle. The welterweight challenge. The immediate future for Makhachev is clear: a showdown with Jack Della Maddalena for the UFC welterweight title. While the date and venue for the bout have yet to be announced, the stakes could not be higher. A win would make Makhachev a 2-division champion, a feat achieved by only a select few in UFC history. Mendez has outlined a possible timeline for Makhachev's remaining fights, indicating that after the Della Maddalena bout, the Dagestani star could defend the welterweight belt once or twice before hanging up his gloves. Potential opponents include former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman, who is on a mission to reclaim his lost belt and has expressed interest in facing the winner of Makhachev versus Della Maddalena. Other names in the mix include Shavkat Rakhmonov and Sean Brady, both of whom represent significant challenges in a stacked welterweight division. Confusion and clarification. Is retirement really imminent? Despite the initial shock, the narrative around Makhachev's retirement has evolved rapidly. In the days following Mendez's comments, both the coach and Makhachev's management team moved to clarify the situation. Mendez admitted that his statement about 3 more fights was more of an assumption than an inside scoop, rooted in the cultural and personal philosophies shared by Dagestani fighters and their legendary coach, Khabib Nurmagomedov. People are taking that out of context. I said maybe he fights 3 more times. I didn't say Islam said that. I'm thinking because Khabib's father talked about how fighters should quit at 35. So basically, I'm just assuming Islam would be thinking about retirement at that particular age. Realistically, he can have 7-8 fights. Depends on what Islam wants, Mendez explained. This clarification has provided some reassurance to fans, suggesting that Makhachev's career may not be as close to its end as initially feared. Makhachev himself has remained non-committal, stating in a recent podcast appearance that he will retire only when he can no longer compete against younger fighters. This leaves the door open for a potentially longer run, depending on his motivation, health, and the challenges that lie ahead. Reactions from the MMA world. The news of Makhachev's possible early retirement has elicited strong reactions from across the MMA spectrum. Former UFC champion Daniel Cormier expressed surprise at the prospect, noting that Makhachev leaving the sport so soon would not be a good advertisement for MMA, given his status as a dominant champion and pay-per-view superstar. Analysts like Chael Sonnen have also weighed in, with Sonnen predicting that Makhachev could retire by the end of 2025, having cleaned out the lightweight ranks more so than his training partner and coach Khabib Nurmagomedov did. Others, such as Makhachev's former teammate Josh Thompson, believe that the Dagestani fighter may look to defend the welterweight title once before considering retirement, especially if he faces top contenders like Shavkat Rakhmonov or Sean Brady. Retirement trends in MMA. Makhachev's situation highlights a growing trend among elite MMA fighters, the desire to retire at or near their physical peak, rather than risk decline or serious injury. This philosophy, championed by Khabib and now seemingly embraced by Makhachev, stands in stark contrast to the careers of many fighters who continue competing well past their prime, often with diminishing returns. Financial security plays a significant role in this shift, with lucrative contracts, sponsorships, and pay-per-view shares. Top fighters like Makhachev no longer need to fight out of necessity. Instead, they can focus on legacy, health, and life beyond the octagon. This approach, while depriving fans of potentially more years of elite competition, ensures that fighters leave the sport on their own terms, with their faculties and reputations intact. What's next for Islam Makhachev? As the dust settles on the retirement rumors, all eyes are now on Makhachev's upcoming welterweight title bout. Victory would not only enhance his legacy, but also set the stage for a series of high-profile defenses or super fights. Whether he chooses to retire after 3 more fights or extend his reign, Makhachev's next moves will have a profound impact on the UFC's lightweight and welterweight divisions. For now, the Dagestani champion remains focused on the task at hand. His team, while acknowledging the possibility of an early exit, insists that nothing is set in stone. It's not what coach wants. He's the driver, not me. I'm not saying he's retiring. I just assume there may be 3 fights, but there could be 6, 7, or 4. It could be any amount. I don't know, Mendez reiterated. The revelation of Islam Makhachev's potential early retirement has added a new layer of intrigue to an already compelling career. Whether he fights 3 more times or continues to dominate for years to come, Makhachev's legacy as one of the greatest mixed martial artists of his era is secure. His disciplined approach, inspired by the teachings of Khabib Nurmagomedov and the example set by Khabib, has set a new standard for excellence and longevity in the sport. As fans await official confirmation of his next fight and further clarity on his future plans, one thing is certain: every moment of Makhachev's remaining career will be watched with heightened anticipation, knowing that the end, whenever it comes, will mark the conclusion of a truly remarkable chapter in MMA history. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's just a tiny click for you, but it makes a massive difference for us. Thanks for supporting the channel.